Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our epic journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 6th round of the 1956 season, the British Grand Prix. It was held on the 14th of July, it had 28 entries, all of them took part in the race, and there were a staggering 17 retirements. The race consisted of 101 laps completed in 2 hours, 59 minutes and 57 seconds. Moss started the race from pole with Fangio in 2nd, Hawthorne in 3rd, Collins 4th and Shell 5th. Juan Manuel Fangio won the British Grand Prix. De Portago gave his car to Collins, who finished in 2nd, he was 1 lap down. Behra finished in 3rd, he was 2 laps down. Fairman finished 4th, he was 3 laps down, and Horace Gould crossed the finish line in 5th, he was 4 laps adrift. The fastest lap of the race was posted by Stirling Moss, it took him 1 minute 43.2 seconds to complete. So, the British Grand Prix returns to Silverstone this year, where a lap starts off with a relatively long run into turn 1, a high-speed right-hander. Turn 2 is next a flat-out left-hander. This is followed almost immediately by turn 3, a tight right-hander. Brake hard and be careful on the throttle when you exit. Next is turn 4, an open left-hander that brings us onto the longest straight on the circuit. Turn 5 is next, a fast left-hander, followed by a short straight, and turn 6, another fast left-hander. Abbey is next, turn 7, a very fast left-hand kink. And finally we have Woodcut, turn 8, a very fast right-hander that brings us around onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Silverstone circuit. And here we are in qualifying for the British Grand Prix once again at Silverstone, and our first qualifying lap of the session is a 139.076, not very good as I kind of lose control of the car here, and then I come around to set another lap, a 147.23, still nowhere near as fast as current pole sitter Louis Rosier, and then finally I come around to set a 135.2, 11 seconds slow, almost 11 seconds slower than Louis Rosier. However, I just couldn't find any pace, so that is kind of it for the qualifying session. We will probably start from somewhere in the back, and here those were the previous British Grand Prix winners, and here we have the grid walk. We have Collins on pole with Fangio in 2nd, Louis Rosier 3rd, Jean Behra 4th, and Jack Fairman rounding off the top 5. Next we have Stirling Moss in 6th, 7th is Cesare Perdisa, followed by Harry Schell in 8th in his Van Wall. Then we have Paul Frere in 9th in his Ferrari, Paco Godia 10th, 11th is Eugenio Castellotti, Gerino Gerini 12th, Ronald Flockhart is 13th, 14th is Da Silva Ramos, 15th André Pilet in the yellow Ferrari, Luigi Musso 16th, 17th is Alfonso De Portago, Andy Higgs is 18th, 19th Luigi Villoresi, 20th Horace Gould, and at the very back is Mike Hawthorne in his BRM. So that is the grid lineup, and we are back in Silverstone, a very cool little track. Well, we know it. I don't know why I said that, because we know it's cool. Hopefully we'll do good. We managed to win in Aintree, so I'm having high hopes for this race. However, I kind of botched my start there, and we are already down in 20th as we come into Cops here. I kind of touched the number 5 Maserati there, but he's fine, so that's okay. And there's a Ferrari to the left upside down, so that's out of, whoever it is, he's out of the race. And there was another Ferrari to the right upside down as we now come into the Maggots-Beckett's complex. I tried to kind of make a move on Villoresi in the Maserati in front, but couldn't quite pull it through. As we now come through Beckett's, there's another Ferrari to the at the side of the track. We finally pull in front of Villoresi and Mike Hawthorne in his BRM as we come out of Chapel and onto the Hangar Straight. And here is a replay of Peter Collins, who flips his car upside down. Then we have Juan Manuel Fangio, who loses control of his Ferrari. And then later on we have André Pilet coming into this left-hander. I think this is a Stowe. He loses control of the car, flips the car several times over, and he is out of the race as we now move on to laps 2. chasing after Horace Gold. We move up into 10th thanks to all those retirements, and we have another replay. This is Alfonso de Portago in his Ferrari doing a few flips there, quite nice of him to entertain us. And that was the Maserati of Sterling Moss. He's lost control of the car, went wide, and then flipped his car several times. Here we have Jean Behra crashing into Louis Rosier's blue Maserati, and here's Louis Rosier, who loses control of his car, crashes, and then gets collected by Jean Behra. We now move on to lap 3, chasing after Horace Gold. We move up into 8th. We have Villoresi right on our tailpipe, so I'm trying to keep him behind, although I don't know how successful I'll be because he's much faster. And here is Luigi Musso losing control of his Ferrari. He tries to get... well, I'm not sure what he's trying to do, but he gets collected by Ronald Flockhart in the Connaught, and that's the end of his race. Both the races, actually. And that was a Maserati, not sure who it was. And here is Ronald Flockhart coming into Stowe, I believe, loses control of his BRM. He tries to steer his car back onto the track. Well, I actually think he gave up. As we now move on to lap 5, chasing after Luigi Villoresi, who managed to overtake us. We are in 7th though, so doing pretty well. And here is a replay of Paco Godia, who also crashed into Musso's Ferrari there. And here is Jack Fairman finally, and a bunch of crashes. Things not going very well in this race for the AI, is it? We now move on to lap 6, and here is Mike Hawthorne coming into Copse, loses control of his BRM, tries to get... well, decides to drive on the grass for some reason instead of getting back onto the track there, and gets collected by one of the Maseratis, not entirely sure who it was, and then... well, he's upside down and out of the race. As we now move on to lap 10 now. Horace Gold is in front of us. We move up into 6th, doing quite well. Well, not very well, but kind of well. This is Cesare Perdisa, who he was the one who collected Mike Hawthorne. So that's the end of his race. And on lap 29, at least I was on lap 29, Gerino Gerini retired from the race. He was on lap 31. I was lapped quite a few times by this point, and he actually retired because of a suspension problem. And here we are coming around on lap 31 to finish our race. Harry Schell wins. Da Silva Ramos is second. We are 4 laps behind everyone, and here are the race results. We have Schell wins the race with Da Silva Ramos in second, Villoresi third, Gould fourth, Giardini fifth, and Luigi Villoresi managed to post the fastest lap of the race as well. And here are the retirements, quite a few. Well, that would be about... wait, my math doesn't work today. 15 people. There we go, finally worked it out. So that was the British Grand Prix. Not a very good race compared to the last 2 races at least. It's quite embarrassing to be lapped 4 times in a race, especially at your home Grand Prix, so not a very good race for Andy. But anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 55th Grand Prix. His best start is from first. He has 3 pole positions, has set 10 fastest laps, his best finishes in first, has completed 37 laps, 32 of them in the points, has won 20 Grand Prix, 4 of them at the Indianapolis 500 and 2 at the Monaco Grand Prix, has 4 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 215 points, has retired 18 times, has experienced 1,267 out of 1,571 laps, has 5 bronze trophies, 3 silver trophies, 20 gold trophies, and as an extension 20 podiums. And here is a very quick look at the championship standings. Behra is still leading the championship with Higgs in second, Villoresi now moves up into third, Harry Schell is fourth, and Sterling Moss rounding off the top 5. And everyone has scored points all the way down to 13th place, which is held by Gerino Gerini. And at the very bottom of the list we see Alfonso de Portago. So that was a British Grand Prix, not a very good race, at least not compared to the previous 2 races, so it could have gone a little bit better, but I guess I had my hopes a little bit too high compared because of the previous 2 races, so I'm quite disappointed that I was lapped 4 times, but I just couldn't keep up with the front runners. I don't know why. I really don't know why, because in France I did pretty well, and that the Reims circuit, just like Silverstone, are 2 power circuits, so I should have done well here as well, so not entirely sure what happened. But anyway, that is it for the British Grand Prix for this video from me. Our next race is the German Grand Prix. We return to Germany after a 1-year hiatus. It was thanks to the horrible incident in 1955. That's why we didn't have a German Grand Prix back then. But we will return to Germany. I'm very excited. It's my favorite circuit, so should be interesting, especially since I only managed to finish a single German Grand Prix since 1951 when the first German Grand Prix was held. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we'll do well this time around. But anyway, don't forget to vote for next season's team. Link is in the description. I also have a second channel where I will be playing all sorts of different games. At the moment I'm doing a playthrough of the original Need for Speed Underground. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description to that as well. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, stay sharp.